Welcome, traders. My name is Adam Harris, Chief Market Analyst. It is Monday, the 24th of November, so we are nearly at the end of the year. Let's have a quick look at what is planned and scheduled for this week's economic calendar. This is the high impact stuff, so we don't really have anything for today. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, we do have quite a bit. I'm going to be focusing predominantly on US data at the moment, which is for the most part concerning the markets. They're not sure if the data is accurate. Also, they're just not sure if the data is positive. So there's a lot of attention being paid to that, and therefore there can be a massive increase in volatility when US news is coming out. This is timed. This is UK GMT, so just so you know, it is based around my time zone. So again, Friday here we have GDP out of Canada. Let's have a look and see what happens with that as well. Just be aware of these. So a lot tomorrow. When the US session, just before the US comes online, we then have Aussie CPI data. We've got the Royal Bank of New Zealand. This can often cause quite a big swing. So if you are in any pound Aussie or euro Kiwi or pound Kiwi positions, just be prepared that there could be a very big swing even on the higher timeframes. This will be interesting just to see what the impact is here with regards to tariffs, or if there's been any other knock-on impact to us. And then, of course, there's definitely going to be a lot of attention paid to the unemployment claims. They are expected to go up, but that's why the markets would be surprised if they don't. That being said, let's go and have a look at the charts, see what the charts have to tell us. We'll start off here with the dollar index. All right, so first of all, don't forget the $100 level is massively significant historically speaking, and we are stuck just below it. We are still stuck within a range, but the whole thing that's going on right now, especially if we go down to the weekly, let's just have a quick look there, is last week we did manage to close a little bit higher. We're still in this area, and until we actually move away from it, I'm not going to consider the deal closed, so to speak. If we're going to have a look at it from a daily perspective, you can see we're starting to battle here a little bit. So there's still a bit of a battle going on here, and Wick's trying to get through this level. Also, what I've done is I put an upward sloping trend line underneath this, and the reason I've done that is because should price come back down from here and breach the trend line, that will give us an early indication before it breaks the low here. That'll give us an early indication if it is likely to return to the bottom of the range. And so I know I've been talking about this for about 3 weeks now, waiting for the dollar, but it has been in this area for about 3 weeks, waiting for it to decide whether it wants to continue to strengthen or weaken, and it is still stuck in this area. So there is no conclusive opinion at this point in time, other than to say that it's still a fork in the road. Still waiting for this to either break up or break down. But this is important because for the newer traders who are not familiar with this, the dollar is the biggest cog in the system. And if this does break lower, we are very likely to have a weaker dollar in the coming 4 to 8 weeks, which would put us through till January, which will impact all of the majors. And if we break out, we're likely to have a stronger dollar in the coming months, not just in the next few weeks, but in the coming months, all the way through to February or March potentially. So there is a couple of months worth of trading at the very least, hinging on what this market does decide to do. Okay, so we're just going to have to wait this week for whether it decides to strengthen or weaken, and that dollar, the news could be the thing that pushes it over the edge. Now, having a look at euro dollar on the daily, this one actually is not so much within the same kind of range. It is in a range, but it isn't sitting at the edge, the bottom edge, which hence it implies that the euro is actually a little bit stronger than the dollar, because the dollar is at the top of its range, but the euro is not inversely at the bottom of its own range. Having a look at it on the daily, I've put the same thing here. I've put a downward sloping trend line. So again, if we breach that, that will give us early clues probably as to what the US dollar is going to do. So just wanted to highlight as well here that we do have some temporary support. And so it's attempting to produce a higher low here, but that doesn't mean a change of trend. We could be going into a range. So again, like I said, at least a breach of this would be an indication that this downtrend is done, if nothing else. And so that's really what I'm looking at the moment, just monitoring that. But if you are finding that trading on the majors, especially as day traders or even as swing traders, has just been phenomenally terrible over the last year, in fact, going back to April, that is not your imagination. That is very much the case with the current administration, just with regards to tariffs. So that's really what we're looking for here, is to wait for signs that is doing it. But there are some subtle hints that are leaning towards a weaker dollar and a stronger euro. So let's see if it does play out that way. GBP as well, having a look at that. This is cable. So again, this is now producing a high low at a level of support. It's stuck within a relatively small range. If we break up above 1.32, then again, it will breach that trend line and we'll start to see clues as well, again, if they do it collectively. And if we break below 1.3, then I would expect GBP to head a little bit lower. So it is in a downtrend at the moment, and in fact, a better quality downtrend than euro dollar. And so really this week, it's a question of whether it breaks out the top or the bottom. That'll give us big clues as to what it is potentially likely to do over the coming weeks. So cautious and obviously just very choppy at the moment. You can see a lot of wicks around price action, and that is coming from a couple of things. Just the general indecision associated with what's happening with regards to trade deals, and actually, also probably as we head into Christmas over the next 4 weeks, we might actually start to see the markets potentially start to kind of pull back a bit, just kind of take the wheel off the accelerator, just kind of start letting the car start to coast, because they tend not to do much over the holidays. Let's have a look at dollar yen. So dollar yen has got actually one of the best, and the yen pairs, the yen crosses have some of the best trends right now. We pull back, we produced a bullish candle here, we've broken the high. So the market is going to attempt to go high. We'll see if we could continue through from this to this current trend looking very nice. This is that yen weakening. At some point, I do expect the Bank of Japan to intervene. It's going in the wrong direction for them, and so they'll start to do what they can, and eventually they will get what they want. So eventually we will start to see the yen strengthening, which means we'll see a lot of the charts start to head lower, but that could be 6 months away, but it is in the future. For now, this trend is nice and strong and very bullish, and I expect it to continue to head higher. Let's have a look at gold. Gold is stuck in a little bit of a range, and so to make a very complex story very simple, we have traders and speculators on the weekly who are very bullish. We've sold off, we've given off about a 30% pullback, and we are expecting they are bullish and they want the market to continue. But at the same time, there are those on the monthly who feel that this is not a sufficient pullback. They feel that it's exhausted, it's overextended, and we need to get a deeper pullback, which brings us back down towards, say, 3.5, 3,600. And so there's a battle going on right now between the two. And the question is, who's going to win? We're going to have to see how that plays out. But I wanted to let you know that that's actually the case. So far, price have pulled back, the buyers have returned, they've pushed up, they've come back, and a bit of an indecision candle this week. And so this candle, the high and the low, becomes significant from that perspective. If we break higher, we're likely to continue up and the weekly bulls win. If we break lower, it's likely that the weekly bears, but the monthly bulls will win out on this. Okay, so overall the trend has been relatively strong, and for now I don't really see why it should break lower, but of course it can. We are closer to the 50 period for a while than we have been for a very long time, and therefore it's very possible we could also go into a range or start to break below this. So this is important, because as we break above this previous high here, we will start to actually accelerate, because more buyers will jump in as they realize that the trend is resuming. And if we break lower, obviously people will start to exit those positions. So that's why this range right now is relatively tricky. We do have a series of high lows going into, we have long wicks underneath, which means that up until now, at least up until the time at which I'm recording this, the bulls are trying harder than the bears, and they could very well win based off that. Let's have a look at the Dow. So the Dow here is experiencing actually a monthly pullback. So this is really interesting. We're seeing a lot of this across the board. We're producing a bit of a bearish candle here. We've got some strong resistance where we are. We're coming back down potentially into these previous highs here. So at first I was looking for a weekly pullback. Now the weekly is starting to pull back quite deep. And so again, the way in which this could play out is that we end up going into a bit of a range. That's interesting, because I'm seeing the early stages of possible range-like behavior on the majors, as well as gold, as well as the indices. That's going to be very interesting if we do ultimately end up going into a range. The S&P as well, you can see it's pulled right back. So if you go and have a look at this from a weekly perspective, you'll see that we had very shallow pullbacks. We've now had a deeper pullback, and this implies that we're going to get a deeper pullback on a higher time frame. So here it goes. It implies that we're going to see the market start to pull back here on the monthly. But again, another way in which this could play out is that we ultimately end up going sideways up until the new year, possibly up until near Christmas, and then we start to pick up again. So that would allow for a weekly consolidation, which is a range, and then it would break higher. But this does also mean that trading is going to be trickier during these periods. Probably better for day traders, because there are smaller moves on the lower time frames. Swing traders on the higher time frames could find that there are no sustained trends, if that makes any sense to you at all. So again, looking here, this is the FTSE 100. We've broken the weekly low. So this uptrend is done. It's finished. The question now is we look towards the weekly. We have a look at what's going on the weekly, and the weekly is still intact. We have a weekly uptrend. We're still in a bull market, ladies and gentlemen. We're still in a bull market across the board. And again, like I said, it looks as though we could potentially be entering into a range period over the coming weeks. It could be something as simple as going into a ranging period in the near, kicking off, and then resuming the uptrend. But we are still in a bull trend, and we stay in this until we cross and close below that 50 period. So we're a long way away from that at this time. Not saying we can never have bear markets. I'm saying that we've had some good corrections here. We've sold off a lot of buying pressure. And as we're heading into Christmas, I don't want to confuse the fact that the markets might start to take a bit of a breather after quite a crazy year and confuse that with some impending crash until we actually see that unfold. So again, it's always innocent until proven guilty. So yes, I do expect the markets to potentially stay where they are. They're in a really good place here if they do want to recover. But I have to tell you, looking at the daily, that deeper pullback, which we could see across a couple of the different markets, especially if we go look at the S&P here, the deeper pullback implies that the bullish momentum we had up until now is gone. We're going to either see a consolidation ranging period or we're going to see a deeper correction to the downside, at least in the coming weeks. So this week, I would just exercise some caution with regards to that. Okay. And then finishing off here, we'll just include Australia. So Australia has also had a particularly good year, and their monthly has pulled right back into the moving averages. This is a great spot in the coming month or two to produce a nice bullish candle. It looks pretty good at this point in time. Let's have a look at it from a weekly perspective. So weekly perspective, we actually have a double top. We've completed the double top. So this pattern has already played out very nice, which means that we're free to recover from this point onwards. So that's what I'm interested here. Do we continue down or do we manage to recover? But I would say this, that I feel the momentum is starting to slow a little bit, and that could be something just as simple as we're heading into the holiday period. So wrapping up, I would say exercise some caution, understand that the dollar is at a fork in the road. We're seeing 55% chance that it looks like it's going to weaken. It makes sense. It's a very strong level. The US administration wants the dollar to be weaker, but the problem is this does impact their bonds. So it is a catch-22 for the Fed. It is. But for the administration, which is obviously holding the reins right now, they would prefer to have a weaker dollar. So that would imply that we would see euro dollar, GBP dollar start to head higher. Dollar yen on its own has got a relatively good trend, and that is continuing to weaken. So unless that dollar suddenly weakens very aggressively, this trend should stay intact and continue up. Gold, we're waiting to see if it's going to break out of its range to the top and the bottom. But if you've been wondering why it has done nothing for the last couple of weeks, that is why. And then if we have a look at the global indices, they are starting to have deeper pullbacks, which implies a slowdown in bullish momentum, but doesn't imply that the bull market is over, simply that we're either going to go sideways or have a deeper correction before we resume the moves to the upside. All right, there's a lot of talk about stagflation, and this could be one of the ways in which it starts to play out. Okay, but that could still be a while away, and we still have the potential Santa Claus rally, which happens closer towards New Year. So there's quite a bit that can happen over the coming weeks. And before I wrap up today, I just want to say to you, my advice here as a mentor would be that the period between Christmas and New Year's is not worth actually actively trading. You use that time to improve your skills, read books, train up, skill up, whatever you need to do, or take time off. But actual active trading between those two dates is just not worth your while. And no professional seasoned trader is doing it. So just putting that, dropping that seed into your brain at this point in time. There we go. I'm going to leave you with this. Keep an eye out for the high impact news events, and I will speak to you soon. Thank you.